Hello, welcome to Daily English Audio. Good morning, my friend. Today, I want to tell you about my daily routine. I will start with the morning because the morning is the first part of my day. I wake up at 7 o'clock. Sometimes I wake up earlier, sometimes later, but usually at 7. When I wake up, I hear the sound of birds outside my window. The birds sing, and the sun shines through the curtains. It feels nice. After waking up, I open my eyes slowly and take a deep breath. I stretch my arms and legs because my body feels a little tired from sleeping. Stretching helps me feel ready. Then I get out of bed and put my feet on the floor. The floor is sometimes cold, so I move quickly to put on my slippers. The next step is washing my face. I walk to the bathroom and turn on the tap. The water is cool. I splash the water on my face, and it helps me feel fresh and awake. Then I brush my teeth. I brush my teeth slowly, up and down, left and right. I like to use mint toothpaste because it feels fresh in my mouth. After brushing my teeth, I comb my hair. My hair is sometimes messy after sleeping, so I use a comb to make it straight. If my hair looks good, I feel more confident. Then I go back to my room and make my bed. Making the bed is simple. I pull the blanket, fix the pillow, and make everything neat. When the bed looks tidy, the room looks better. Now it is time for breakfast. Breakfast is important because it gives me energy for the day. Sometimes I eat bread with butter, sometimes rice with eggs, and sometimes noodles. I also drink tea or milk. When I eat, I sit at the table and enjoy my food. I try not to eat too fast. Eating slowly makes me feel calm. After breakfast, I prepare for school or work. I pack my bag with books, notebooks, and a pen. If it is a work day, I also take my laptop. I check if I have my keys, my wallet, and my phone. Then I put on my shoes and jacket. Before leaving, I say goodbye to my family. I smile and they smile back. This makes me happy before I go outside. Walking outside in the morning is nice. The air is fresh and the streets are busy. I see people walking, riding bicycles, or waiting for the bus. I listen to the sound of cars, motorbikes, and people talking. Sometimes I walk, sometimes I take the bus. On the bus, I usually look out the window and think about my day. I feel ready. That is my morning routine. It may sound simple, but it helps me start the day with energy and focus. After the morning comes the afternoon. The afternoon is the middle of my day. In the afternoon, I usually study, work, or do activities. When I arrive at school, I go to my classroom. I sit at my desk, take out my notebook, and wait for the teacher. The teacher comes in and says, "Good morning" or "Good afternoon." We reply together, and then the lesson starts. Sometimes the lesson is English, sometimes math, sometimes science. Each subject is interesting in a different way. During class, I listen to the teacher and take notes. I try to write clearly so I can read later. Sometimes the teacher asks questions, and I raise my hand to answer. If I know the answer, I feel proud. If I don't know, I try to learn. Learning is not always easy, but it is always useful. After 2 or 3 lessons, there is a break. During the break, I go outside with my friends. We talk, laugh, and sometimes eat snacks. I like to eat fruit, bread, or biscuits. My friends like to drink juice or soda. The break is short, but it helps us relax. After the break, we have more lessons. Sometimes I feel tired, but I keep listening and studying. At the end of the school day, I feel happy because I learned something new. If I do not go to school, I work in the afternoon. When I work, I sit at a desk with my computer. I read emails, write messages, and finish tasks. Sometimes I join meetings with my team. We talk about projects and share ideas. Work is sometimes busy, but it is also interesting. After school or work, I often go home. But sometimes I go to the library or a cafe. In the library, I read books and do homework. In the cafe, I drink coffee or tea and write in my notebook. Both places are quiet, and I can focus. When I go home in the afternoon, I usually rest. I sit on the sofa and watch TV or listen to music. Sometimes I take a short nap if I feel very tired. A short nap of 20 minutes gives me new energy. In the late afternoon, I also like to exercise. Exercise is important for health. Sometimes I go jogging in the park. Sometimes I ride my bicycle. Sometimes I play badminton or football with friends. Moving my body makes me strong and happy. After exercise, I take a shower. The water feels good on my skin, especially if I sweat. I use soap and shampoo, and then I feel clean. After showering, I wear fresh clothes, and I am ready for the evening. That is my afternoon routine. It is full of learning, working, and moving. It keeps me busy and active. Now let's talk about the evening and night. Evening is the time after sunset. When I return home in the evening, the first thing I do is greet my family. I say, "Hello, I'm home." My family says, "Welcome back." We smile, and it feels warm. Then I usually help my family prepare dinner. Sometimes I cut vegetables, sometimes I set the table, and sometimes I wash the dishes after eating. Dinner is a special time because we sit together, eat together, and talk about our day. We share stories and laugh. This makes me feel close to my family. For dinner, I often eat rice with meat and vegetables. Sometimes we eat soup or noodles. Sometimes we have fish or chicken. After dinner, we eat fruit like bananas, apples, or oranges. Fruit is sweet and healthy. After dinner, I relax. Sometimes I watch TV with my family. Sometimes I read a book. Sometimes I play games on my phone or computer. If I have homework, I do it after dinner. I sit at my desk, open my notebook, and write. Homework is not always fun, but it helps me learn more. In the evening, I also like to talk with friends. Sometimes I call them on the phone, sometimes I chat online. We talk about school, movies, or games. Talking with friends makes me feel connected. At night, I prepare to sleep. First, I brush my teeth again. I want my teeth to stay clean and healthy. Then I wash my face with water. After that, I change into my pajamas. Pajamas are soft and comfortable. Before bed, I sometimes read a book or listen to music. Reading helps me relax, and music helps me feel calm. Sometimes I write in a diary. I write about what happened during the day and how I feel. Writing helps me understand myself better. Finally, I turn off the light and lie in bed. I close my eyes and think about the day. I feel thankful for the good things. Then I slowly fall asleep. Sleep is important because it gives me energy for the next day. That is my evening and night routine. It is quiet, peaceful, and relaxing.